E aí guys, tudo tranquilo? Aqui quem fala é Shurion. E voltamos com mais um episódiozinho. O Caçador de Recompensas ainda é meu nome. Cara, esse joguinho é um joguinho que não me... Cara, não deixa triste, cara. É um joguinho chato de jogar, tá ligado?
It took me a couple of days to track the Daltons down.
E olha que faz 5 anos, hein?
They can't get away with this. And in that time, a whole posse of local vigilantes offered to lend a hand.
Top esse joguinho, cara.
They seemed as determined as me to find those outlaws. But as we headed into those swamps, it was like I had my own private army. There was no way those boys were getting away this time.
Tem 3 GB esse jogo, cara. É muito levinho, cara. E mesmo assim é muito gostoso de jogar.
It was early fall, right? Beautiful time of year. At least you had the weather on your side.
Not by my recollection. It was damp and foggy as hell. It was tough to stay on a true course. So we kept an eye out for landmarks. It was autumn. The maple trees were in full color. Red as blood.
Narrativa, muito bom.
The rains that year were torrential, so the whole area was flooded. The vigilantes had spread out wide, and pretty soon I couldn't see anybody.
Até agora nada, graças a Deus.
Except for some bitches ahead of me wanting to do me harm, so I had to face them alone.
Onde eu levei bala?
I wondered why my compatriots didn't come running when they heard the shots.
Caraca, não tô vendo ele até tomando bala, cara. Onde eu tomei bala? Será que vai ir lá na ponta? Cara, era muito bom então você tá tomando lá da ponta. Ah, era dali, ó. Algo aqui? Não, só passar raiva mesmo. Louco, eu peguei bala.
So did you find the Daltons?
Not yet, but I did have the questionable pleasure of meeting a few of their friends.
Louco.
The boys had established quite a reputation by that time, so they attracted all manner of riffraff to their cause.
Bala.
And my reinforcements was nowhere to be seen. Point being, I was under serious attack.
Opa, dá uma espingarda. Tem 3 estrelas também. 3 estrelas não, uma estrela. Ó, vídeo de cana cerrado. Tô louco. Tomando tudo quanto é lado. Nossa. Caraca, todas as balas só mesmo. Que mano. Tô muito mal, não é possível mesmo.
Too damn close.
Tem o cara aqui em todas.
But luckily, a barn materialized as if right before my eyes. I scrambled up top to get a better view.
É muito bom a narrativa, cara. Você vê, né, cara? O jogo é tão narrativa, pai, é melhor que o decor.
But just ended up falling inside.
So, how did you get out?
The barn doors was open. About right then, I saw some suspicious characters running for the bushes. Of course, I followed them. But that goddamn swamp was like a goddamn maze, and pretty soon I had no goddamn idea where I was.
Ué, ronco.
Steve?
Ah, tem dormindo na narrativa.
So I just started walking, and pretty soon... Steve? Steve?
Huh? Oh, no, I'm listening.
Indians surrounded me from all sides.
O que?
Indians? There were Indians?
No. I just wanted to make sure Steve was paying attention. Now, where was I?
You were following the Daltons through a swamp?
Sobrou uma bala dos índios ainda pra mim.
That's right. See, Steve? Dwight's paying attention.
No, I'm listening. I was just resting my eyes.
So, where was I?
The Daltons.
Right. See, there's a reason so many outlaw gangs are made up of brothers. Being a brother is a very sacred thing. It's a bond like no other.
Bounty hunter! Stop that, So did you ever find the damn Daltons?
Not yet. But I did find a few of their cousins. You Kansans breed like rabbits. More Smiths or Heimhoffers or who knows what. But hell, what's more important than family? I'll bet Ben knows what I'm talking about. Time for you to you and a million people.
Nossa. Eu vou até pegar uma aqui pra pegar com as de marfim, que é muito boa.
Kill that goddamn bounty hunter!
Mais de uma bala. Tchau. Isso aí. Cadê com as de marfim, eu vi? Aqui. Agora sim, meu querido. Agora nós brincamos. Costa de marfim. Pega umas balinhas mais aqui. Marquinha muito boa. Ah, peguei o espaço.
Can't believe you keep missing.
Nem eu tô tomando tanta bala. Tinha bala daqui também não? Run! Não é possível, cara. Eu não vejo esse cara, mano. Os caras estão numa frestinha assim, tá ligado? De longe ela não é boa não. Pulou.
I knew those Dalton boys were out there somewhere, standing together against anyone who would threaten them.
É, os Dalton também sumiram desse canto, né?
And that's when I saw it. A goddamn steamboat.
A steamboat in a swamp?
Yeah, Steve, but this wasn't much more than a wreck, really.
Como
But how'd
assim,
a
barco?
damn steamboat end up in the swamps?
Guess it floated off during the flood of '89.
Now, was it a stern wheeler or a side wheeler?
What? Does that really make a difference, Steve? It was a steamboat with a goddamn army on board.
Nossa, tava lá do
It
outro
was
lado.
then that a fusillade of bullets come raining down from on high, and those vigilantes who accompanied me weren't anywhere to be found. But among those men that were shooting at me, I thought I saw some familiar faces.
Louco. Fiz mais de um tiro de rifle. Esse cano cerrado não é tão bom assim não. Nossa. Aquele tiro na cabeça. Bonito de se ver. Tem algum aqui? Coisa aqui? Segredinho, né? Não tá sendo 100% certeza.
Somewhere up there, the Daltons were waiting on me.
Aqui, ó. Tinha pra brincar pra matar o cara de longe, mas... Vamos tentar.
Sounds like you don't give up too easy.
That's the kind of man I am, Ben.
Não morre
I
não.
set out to do something. I do it. Surrender just ain't in my nature.
É, de perto não dá não.
Plus, I'm stubborn as hell.
Mas sou teimoso, tá certinho, cara. Sou teimoso mesmo. Toma na mente aí, só vai ficar de boa. Segredinho aí de boa. Olha esse jeito que o cara morre, cara. O cara fica de boa mesmo. Salve, filho.
Right about then, much to my relief, the vigilantes finally arrived. Their leader motioned at a cabin in the middle of the top deck, pointing me directly at the Daltons. I finally had them, after months of dogged
Já
pursuit.
até tirei. E aí você já acha zoado, porque tipo, você tirou um monte de inimigo, aí você acha um amigo aqui em cima.
But it turned out that they had me.
Take him out!
Muito
I'm
zoado, né, cara?
sending you to hell!
Não é pouco não.
The Daltons had played me
Not so
like a
tough
fiddle.
after all this.
Apparently the vigilantes were on their damn payroll. They didn't just want to shoot me. They wanted to burn me alive. But finding my way out of a burning labyrinth proved to be quite a challenge.
It was a riverboat, right? I mean, it's not like it was a goddamn ocean.
Oh, yeah, but I was in a fight.
It's gonna launch next year. Largest one in the world.
You're talking about the
Ô, tô
Titanic.
falando.
If you ask me, it's too blessed big. I don't think it'll even float.
So anyway,
Don't be stupid, Steve. They know what they're doing. They say that the Titanic is unsinkable.
oh God,
But getting back to that steamboat, how'd you get off it, Mr. Grease?
I took in a lot of smoke that day, so I admit my recollection might be a bit hazy. But somehow I managed to finally disembark.
Sim, era.
I was coughing up smoke and pretty damn pissed. I was done playing games with those boys. It was
Yeah,
time
I
to
have
settle
to
this
about it.
once and for all.
Você vai dar pegar fogo pra cacete. Vou brincar com essa arminha aqui. Ô louco, cara. Tô atirando pra caceta, não deixando esquentar e mesmo assim tô morrendo. Ó lá. Foda-se, fica esquentando mesmo.
Bob and Grad weren't about to come at me one at a time.
Senhora.
They were in this together. Two brothers side by side, determined to take
Ô
me
louco,
down.
tio.
Confident that this time the odds were on their side.
Mirando da frente, né? Burrice que eu fiz, tá? Tava com 50 e poucos % de foco. Ah tá, agora eu lembro que eu tava mirando lá atrás, porque o cara lá atrás tira primeiro.
They got it wrong. A sad end for those two. If they'd only known that Emmett was still alive despite his wounds.
Ei, rapaz.
Paroled 14 years later, He moved to California and sold real estate and lived off the legend of that fateful day.
Não tem nada inimigos mortos.
And the tragic death of his two brothers.
Two Brothers, capítulo 2. Capítulo não, segundo, né? Nem sei qual que tá mais, pra falar a verdade.
My own brothers died tragically as well, truth be told.
Episódio 7.
It was 1868, and me and my older brothers were pulling a tidy profit running cattle into Juarez, Mexico.
Mexico.
One night after my brothers retired for the evening, I found a little poker game in a cantina with a couple of cowboys. And I just couldn't lose. I even won an old Spanish coin that had to be 100 years old. Well, I was mighty pleased with myself the next morning as my brothers and I rode for Texas. But before we crossed the border, those cowboys caught up with us. It was Johnny Ringo, Roscoe Bob Bryant, and another asshole named Jim. They wanted their money back and everything else we had, including our lives, as those boys didn't want us coming for them later. Bob put that old Spanish coin in my mouth and said, "I won't have it said that I left you with nothing, boy." Well, those horses bolted, and there we hung as those bastards rode away. The branch finally snapped under the weight of the three of us, but being my older brothers were bigger and heavier, they were already dead. And right then I swore to myself that I would avenge them. Ringo you know about, but Bob eluded me. Until I heard he was riding with the Wild Bunch.
Tem história, velho. É pesadinho isso aqui, hein? Tá louco, velho. Você vê, eu vi isso aqui faz tempo. Tinha achado ruim, agora eu vi de novo. Pelo amor de Deus, velho. Pesadinho esse jogo.
I'd been on their trail for months. Ever since they left their hideout in the Bighorn Mountains. Led by Butch Cassidy, they were a loose association of outlaws who robbed banks and trains from Colorado to Montana.
Maior coice. Velocidade na mira. Alcance, dano e dispersão. Essa aqui. É o anjo da morte. Vamos ver pra onde eu vou. Bolsos grandes, que é a capacidade de espingarda e munição. Caçador e caminho rápido. Foi por cima só por isso aqui só. Não tem grandes coisas aqui não.
Among them was the Sundance Kid, and that
Entendeu?
murderous hombre I was tracking,
Sei não.
Roscoe Bob Bryant.
Were you a part of that giant Pinkerton posse after the Wild Bunch?
No, boy. A circus like that would have slowed me down. Besides, I wanted Bryant all to myself. I'd heard about a large shipment of gold being transported to Wilcox, Wyoming on the Overland Flyer. They blew the bridge with the intention of forcing the train to stop.
Isso é uma lei da física muito boa.
I was determined to make that sumbitch Bob pay for what he did to my brothers.
O que tem aqui? Ah, aqui tem um segredo. Ó, isso fica tortão, velho. Tá zoado, né? Lei da física. Tá, é doido, tchau, obrigado.
I found the device they used to blow the tracks, so I knew I was headed in the right direction.
Você acha que já usa, velho. Não vai que explode.
My ears are still ringing from blowing up that bridge.
Well, I made my way off unscathed and came upon a few members of the gang and had no choice but to dispatch them. From there, I had to negotiate an even more precarious route. But first, I would need to get my ass out of there.
Não é pra cá não, é pra lá. Ó.
jumped from the frying pan into the fire as the train was clearly fixing to fall. I had found the gang, but in order to find old Bob, I needed to fight my way forward past a whole passel of desperados. Outside, inside, any way I could, I made my way towards my prey.
Well, what about the passengers?
It was mostly a freight train, as I recall. There were no passengers aboard that day. As I mentioned before, I am not fond of heights. But I was too busy dodging bullets to worry about falling to my death. Odds were I was likely to die that day anyway. So I was determined to take down as many of those bastards as I could.
Get out here!
Não é doido. Tá, aqui não tem mais caminho.
Times it was like shooting ducks in a shooting gallery. The only difference is these damn ducks shot back.
O que aconteceu? Ah, tinha granada aqui, ó, dinamite, quer dizer. O me limpou aqui. É fácil de pegar esse segredo aqui. Como é que é por aqui? Tinha ir pra outra coisa, mas tá bom.
I kept hoping the law would show up and give me a
You
hand.
mean like that giant Pinkerton posse that I read about? Did they come riding in, guns a-blazing to help?
Ah, lá vem o moleque botar narração. Cavalgar em montanha? Poxa. Grande grupo selvagem.
Help? From the Pinkertons? No, son. I had to fight the wild bunch all by my lonesome, as usual.
Who the hell is that? Take cover! Retreat! Retreat! He's killing everybody! You ain't seen the likes of Run!
A salvação foi ter. Era aquele bicho. Lá na merda.
My guess is those dime novels didn't portray this as it happened, did they?
Mais uma.
Only a few stragglers were left, and I had to cut them down pronto if I was going to stay on old Bob's trail. Once I silenced all those guns, I went searching for my nemesis, determined to finally have my justice. But the only survivor who welcomed me was George Flat-Nose Curry.
Who was he?
The fastest gun in the gang. Right after Sundance, I mean. And Kid Curry, and maybe Elsie Lay. Though some folks might dispute that.
Não gosto desse cara que se mexe, velho. É muito difícil pra fazer a concentração dele. Merda. Eu acertei. O famoso empate agora foi. Esse negocinho aqui é tipo um recorre do Marvel, velho. Tipo, você quer ir pra direita, ele vai pra esquerda. Você joga ele pra esquerda, ele vai pra esquerda demais. Fora o lado que tem que controlar aqui. Uma visão meio periférica, tá vendo? Tá, ok, brincar agora. Quando você faz uma desse, você não consegue fazer a sincronia.
On that very same day, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid decided to leave the Wild Bunch behind and decamped for South America.
Toma.
They ended up living down there for many years, but I'm sure you already know all about that.
Flat Nose Curry, não, Flat Nose Curry, 92%, não, ai, quase certinho, 92.5, 92.5. Só de tiro rápido, também, melhor arma que tem. E isso aí, guys, muito obrigado a todos por assistir aqui. Não deixe de deixar aquele like, aquela compartilhada que ajuda demais o canal, hein. Muito obrigado a todos, um forte abraço e falou!